thank you so much for being here at the launch of the Sophia Collective. It really is an honor and a privilege to have so many beautiful women here today. And I'm honored to be here as your MC for this evening. So, before we begin, can I just invite you to ensure your phones are on silent or switched off? You want to take an opportunity to ground you, to help you get present in this beautiful moment today. Thank you. So let's just begin with taking a lovely deep breath in and exhale. Feels good, right? Let's do it again. In and exhale. And finally, once again, in and exhale. Okay, we're here. So for the next 2 hours, we're going to have a fully immersive session for you. We're going to be celebrating who we are. And to help us do that, we have some inspiring guests. And some of you all are also here, sat in our own audience. We're going to have some engaging activities and opportunities to connect. Now, talk about staying connected. We now have a new Instagram page. And I don't know if you've noticed, but particularly over there, there is a QR code on the wall. So please do follow us at the Sophia Collective. But also, if you're going to post any stories from today, please also tag us. So once again, thank you so much for being here. I am Akua. I am a descendant of strength and hope. I am the daughter of unconditional love. I am proud to be a woman, and I am grateful for every experience that has shaped me into the woman I am today. Every joy, every heartbeat, every heartbreak, every triumph, and every failure, all of those things has taught me something valuable about myself and the woman and the world around me today. I am not defined by my physical appearance, my job, or my accomplishments. I am defined by my values, my passions, and my ability to love and be loved. I am proud of the woman I have become, and I am excited to be the woman I am still becoming. And I am a woman of worth. Now, talking about a woman of worth, I would like you to now join me in welcoming someone who is all about the essence of worth, the incredible Sarah.
We are all super grateful for being here this evening to introduce you to what we have been working on. It's really an exciting evening ahead. We have just heard Akua introduce herself, starting with I am. I am is a theme that you will notice throughout the evening. It is meant to highlight and celebrate the individual that you are, to help you acknowledge your strengths and embrace your worth. I am sure you have noticed the cards that were lying on your chairs. One of them is an I am card. Throughout the evening, we hope that you have a reflection or take a moment to look inside and write your own statement of I am. There'll be plenty of opportunities to do that. Now, let me share my I am with you. I am woman. I stand tall and sometimes fall. Despite it all, I will climb any wall. I am strength. I keep going. No huffing and no puffing. Focused on the goal with power to roar. I am will. Putting the ego aside, choosing to take a ride, determined to create for the good and the great. I am faith, at any length and at any will, surrendered, sipping chamomile. Always. On a Tuesday morning, 5 years ago, 20 women met at my home. We had banana bread and tea, and we spoke about mindfulness. We came together out of our shared love and interest for learning, and a desire to create a community, or maybe we hoped we would, maybe something with our neighbors. The platform grew to over 500 women, all word of mouth. This is the first time we actually have an Instagram page. Today, on Tuesday evening, I'm honored to have 6 incredible women. They're the original, some of the original women that were with me and started the journey back on March 20th, 2018. Almost 5 years to the week from today. Let's start our dialogue with these wonderful women. Hi. I think there's some mics on each side you guys can use. Yes. It's so nice to see you again. Yeah? The part I think for me is when we started all of this 5 years ago and you guys came into my home, it's surreal, right? Like we would be sitting here. None of us actually at all expected that we would be anything. I mean, we just thought it'd be great if we would meet a second time. Let's do this. So if I may ask you, I'll ask a question to each of you, but if I may ask you to also introduce yourselves when you answer the first question. But the first question is to all of you. Why in the world did you show up that first day? I still want to know. Maybe we start with Felicia.
Hello, ladies. My name is Felicia Agmiran. I am the founder of Rex Real Estate and Swim for Clean Seas from Sweden. Grew up in Abu Dhabi, so I feel Swedish, but also quite Arab. And so to answer the question, obviously always very honored when I'm invited to someone's house directly. It's a very intimate and beautiful space. But I remember that you wrote something in the invitation that said, come with an inquisitive mind and open heart. And I was very curious and excited to come.
Okay, cool. Shiraz?
Hi, my name is Shiraz, and I'm the mother of 4 wonderful girls. We moved to the UAE 22 years ago, so I consider Abu Dhabi my true home. Yes, and I remember also when I was invited to Sarah's home for the talk, I was very curious. I wanted to know what it's all about, and after it was about mindfulness, that session. After this session, I realized that this is a place and a space that I want to come back to. Because really, for selfish reasons, after I left that session, I felt exhilarated, and I felt like this is a safe space that I can come back to and feel very comfortable. This is why I wanted to come back.
Thanks, Shiraz. Lama?
Hi. Hi, I'm Lama Kadoumi, and I grew up here, so I feel like I'm a permanent guest of the UAE. It's home. I'm a mother of 3. I had a business, a concept store for a short while, but it was good while it lasted. So why did I show up? Well, I had recently moved onto Saadiyat, and it was the first of what I felt was definitely a community event, and super curious. As the invite said, come being inquisitive, and definitely wanted to support a dear friend and a now new neighbor. 5 years on, still brilliant.
Thanks. Rima? Okay.
My name is Rima Biseso, and I've been living in Abu Dhabi since I was 6 years old, so this is also definitely my home. I have 2 wonderful boys who are in university, and actually the invite came at a time when my youngest was leaving to college, and I was finding it very difficult to cope with that. And when Sarah invited me, first of all, I'm a feminist at heart, and I always love to support my friends and love anything that has to do with women. And so when Sarah invited me, I was so excited to go to hear what they had to say. And also for selfish reasons, I kept coming back because every time I would go, I just felt so positive, so energetic. And it was so wonderful to hear all the stories of these beautiful women. So thank you, Sarah, for starting. And today, when I look and see all these beautiful women here, we started with 20, and now look where we are. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My name is Cecilia Ayub, and I am a health coach and nutrition consultant and yoga teacher. I've been living in Abu Dhabi 12 years, and I have 3 kids. And the reason why I went to Sarah's house the first time is because I heard the word mindfulness as well. And I was getting really curious about meditation back then. And I really I could never meditate, so I'm like, you know what, maybe if I join a group, I can start meditating. So this is why I went, and actually, you planted the seed. You were one of the ones that planted the seed of meditation back then, and I'm so happy for you, and this is a beautiful thing, so thank you for bringing us together.
Thank you, Cecilia.
Good afternoon, ladies. So nice to see you. Thank you, Sarah, for having me here. I'm Natalia, the same as Natasha. I'm a human being. I'm the winner in the race of, you know what happens when the babies are made. So I'm already the winner in life, as you are. I'm a daughter, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a friend, I'm love, I'm light, and I'm so excited to be here, really. I'm a life coach and NLP practitioner, and I'm an artist and many more roles. I'm anything you want to see. And now I'm the voice, and defy the odds and step up from my comfort zone. And I remember this invitation on our WhatsApp group. Honestly, Sarah, I wanted to escape from home. I was stuck. I was stuck with the kids at home, and when I saw women gathering in somebody's house, yes, I'm in. And I wanted to put faces to names because we have this WhatsApp group, community WhatsApp group, and I didn't know anybody. And it was so nice and liberating to meet and to be safe. And I still remember those grapes that you gave us. She closed our eyes and she gave us grapes, and she invited us to feel all the senses, to be present, to feel it, to touch it, to hold it in the hands. I was thinking it was tomatoes until the last moment, and then it shows that how out of touch of environment I was at that time. And now I'm in touch with myself, in touch of all of you girls, and growing with you, inspired by you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Really, thank you for that. Thank you for that. You know, it's always actually been a curious reason for me because, our first 20 are the ones that truly planted the seeds, and out of that was the encouragement to say, no, do it again, and do it again. And Rima, you mentioned a bit about you like to come back. So please tell us, why do you continue to come back to support this community?
Okay, so first, I love the banana bread.
Okay.
And I look forward to it every month, every time you send us the invite, and I put a note in my calendar. I think, yay, I'm getting banana bread soon. So that's the first reason. The second reason, like I said, I always love to hear inspiring stories from women. And I've been inspired by so many incredible women in this room and not in this room. And the nice thing I found about it was that it was our community that spoke. A lot of people I knew, but then I got to know more about in the talks. Some people I just knew the face and didn't know at all, but then I learned a lot more. And others who I didn't know at all, and I heard incredible stories. And once we had, you split us into groups. We were actually in this room. And you split us into groups, and you said everybody has to say something special about themselves. What makes you you? Mm-hmm. And it's funny because you never really think about yourself. You're always, as women, we're always thinking about our kids, thinking about our parents, thinking about everyone except ourselves. And it was hard for me to think, what makes me special? And it was so beautiful just to hear everyone in my group speaking. And the talks are so beautiful, so varied, from plant-based diet to my olive roots, to Marjan talking about Nowruz, to Nahla talking about her tuck shop and crying. It was so emotional that day. Cici sharing her struggle and her story with the cancer that was so inspiring. I'll never forget that day, Cici. Hala talking about grief. Even Marcus sharing his Karim story with us. And also the time that they spoke about raising boys, women raising men. The speaker, Rasha, used to be a classmate of mine when we were in 5th grade. Wow. And it was so nice to see her after all these years and hear her speak and talk about her family and her boys. So it's always just so beautiful, so uplifting, and just such a beautiful community.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rima. I think really what makes us unique is it's storytelling. It isn't anything regarding speakers or anything like that. And there's so much beauty in that spirit when we're able to truly tell and share our stories with one another.
And then we've gone through so many places. We started at your house, then moved to Manarat Saadiyat. I was thinking about it. Then we went to NYU. Yeah. And it's just been from place to place, but wherever we are, it's beautiful. And I just love it. It's my favorite day of the month, and I wouldn't miss it unless it's an emergency or I'm out of town.
Wow.
So thank you.
Thank you so much, Rima. Thanks so much for that. Shiraz, with the platform having grown at 50%, and it's not at all on social media, clearly this must have been word of mouth. I mean, I know that you ladies must have brought a friend or told someone. Why would you tell your friend about this platform?
Well,
After the first session, I wanted to share this unique experience with my friends because, as I said, it helped me a lot, and I wanted other women to experience it too. This is how I started telling other women. Because in Abu Dhabi, we were really missing something like this. It doesn't exist. It didn't exist until you started it. But when they asked me, I would describe it as a safe space where different women from various backgrounds connected together. They came together to create this uplifting experience and to feel that now they are not alone anymore. Because it could be lonely. It could be lonely for the expats here.
Yeah, we almost feel like we're only going through it alone, right? Like as a woman, we connect to say, it's only my child, or I'm kind of having this pain. But it's actually, what we learned over time is it really is a lot of women that have similar experience. May not be in the moment, but at some point, and there's the guidance around it.
Exactly. And what makes the experience unique is that when we are together, the women, they can transcend their day-to-day demanding life, and they enter into a state of self-reflection and a heightened sense of awareness, which I got from the mindfulness session in the beginning. Sorry, I'm reading from the flashcards because this is my first public speaking. For me, I would tell them that attending the talk series, it made me start a discussion in my head. It makes me rethink things and teaches me to set my prejudices aside and to become open-minded and ready to set sail towards new perspectives. In short, if asked today, what is the talk series about? I would say that the talk series have managed to enable an international group of women to grow roots locally, to thrive, and to bloom.
Wow.
Early on, you know, when I invited the friends, they would say, what's in it for Sarah? Why is she doing this?
What would you tell them?
Personally, I believe that Sarah wants to pay it forward. And one way is by empowering women in her community. But now I'm going to ask you. What's in it for Sarah?
Why do I do it? I mean, it all started with me wanting to connect to women in my community. I had worked for 22 years, and often with men. So that was kind of a point of start with it. I knew I'm starting a shift in my life where I'm almost rediscovering my femininity as a woman versus a working in a corporate setting type of lady. And I don't know why I was somewhat thinking I'm different in that space, but that was the reality. And every time we did a session, like, I learned so much myself, because as you know, I wasn't the one, it was only the first one that I spoke at or told the story of mindfulness, but the rest of them have been other women. So it's very selfish in the sense of I'm learning so much and I'm meeting this incredible women. So I'm always like so grateful for the fact that women do come and then we actually do talk, and it's such a beautiful experience for me. So maybe that's why I do it from a growth perspective. But also the love, like maybe it's unconditional love I have for women in general, in the sense of the ability to give back as much as I can. And when it started with the talk series, it was really a few hours a month that I was spending putting this on. So I felt why not? Like, it was great. And then, you know, we had such incredible stories. Yeah. That's why, maybe.
I remember one of the sessions, it was in NYU, and you told us the story of how you changed from the hardworking woman.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did one on from feminism to femininity, of how I'm discovering my woman inside me. Yes, you're right. I did one more talk as well. Yeah.
And that's also inspiring, you know.
Yeah, it was a really true journey of losing that hardness and becoming a lot kinder and softer for myself while truly being strong. Like, I really, and this is what you'll see about the Sophia Collective in general, where we're emerging, celebrating feminine values have always been something of my love and passion, because when you tell that to any person, like, celebrate feminine values, they almost shriek, because it's like, ooh, we're emotional. It's painted like such a negative thing. But when you think of compassion, vulnerability, loyalty, those are like priceless values that we should have. So why would we ever not want to celebrate and start even celebrating more and more of who we are as women and what we bring to a society?
I would like to thank you, and I would like to say it's such an honor to be part of the talk series from the beginning, but also to be part of this exceptional group of women. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shiraz. Thank you. Now, yeah, you turn the tables around with me now, so I hope she's the only one that had a question. Ceci. So you were one of the first storytellers. So you were the first person that came to the home, but also you were one of the first ones to share your story, a very emotional story with us. But how was this experience for you, and what have you been up to since?
The experience of sharing my story was, well, obviously I was really nervous, because I think it was one of the first times that I spoke in front of a lot of people, but also every time I share my breast cancer journey, it's, I feel like I heal more, I feel like I grow more. I like to think that I can inspire one person at least. I like to think that maybe one or two people are going to pay more attention on what's happening in their bodies. So, and this is what I'm all about now. Like, I like to share my journey, so, you know, so less women go through what I went through. So that was one. And the second, what have I been up to?
Yes.
Okay, let me pull my...
Yeah.
Okay, so since the last talk, I now have become a 300-hour yoga teacher, Vinyasa yoga teacher. Thank you. I am also a yoga shred teacher. I teach in Body Tree and Inspire Sports. I'm in the process of completing my master's. I still have 2 more classes to go, so yes, I'm getting there. It's in clinical nutrition. In September 2021, I have successfully designed a program called the Mastering Fat Loss Program. And I have helped about 200 or more than 200 women. And I have a platform now, I have a website, and it has recipes, it has fitness classes, it has tips, you know, just all the tools that my clients need for them to succeed. I am continuing to develop my program. Right now I'm in the process of designing certifications to current health coaches to become part of my team and help me reach more people. My meditation practice has grown so much. Honestly, like, you were one of the ones really that planted the seeds, and now I'm addicted to meditating. Like, I probably meditate sometimes for 1.5 hours, or, you know, like, I never thought I was gonna do that, and now I look forward to doing that, so I'm very happy. I have become also certified with the HeartMath Institute, and the HeartMath Institute basically has a device that measures the heart rate variability of, you know, of a person, and you can help them get to a more coherent communication between the brain and the heart. So it's like to create more coherence in individuals, and I do these meditations in my sessions, so to help them more to open up and to look for their answers within and not so much on external factors. I successfully had my first retreat in Sri Lanka with another wonderful teacher called Tagrid. Tagrid, where are you? Tagrid is a Pilates instructor. We did a retreat together in Sri Lanka, and it was full, and it was wonderful, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. And yeah, this is it for now, but more to come, hopefully.
But I love it because you really have truly become, and this is a lot of also where we're shifting to the Sophia Collective, you're turning some of the practices into becoming, even it's a small business, but you're a small businesswoman. You're really starting to shift into ventures and training other people to come into your network. So that's incredible.
So far I have one working with me. She's a health coach. Well, she's becoming a health coach with an IIN. And then she's going to become certified in what is the Mastering Fat Loss program, and she can coach. So yeah.
Amazing.
For more to come.
Thank you. Lama, what has been your favorite talk or favorite moment in the last 5 years? I don't know, I guess maybe nobody really knows, and I didn't even know, but Lama was, or is, the person that attended the talk series the most. Like when I think of Lama, I should have asked her, which ones did you miss versus which ones did you attend? Because it's very different. So she is truly in the right place to answer this question. What has truly been your favorite?
Okay. Well, along the 5 years, whether it was in person or over Zoom, thanks to COVID, we've heard so many storytellers and fantastic stories. Not always something that would have crossed my mind, but always interesting. There was always something to take away, something to feel empowered by the end of it. You walk out feeling wonderful, seriously. The vibe, it's almost uplifting or spiritual. It's such a safe space. Although I don't know many of you, or I'm very close to many of you, when you're here, there's an automatic connection that you just can't put into words. So, which one have I missed?
No, which one's your favorite?
Unfortunately, no, I'm gonna go the reverse. The one I did miss was actually, unfortunately, Ceci's and Rena Nawas's. But you remember, I had my excuse, trust me.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite was part of the Femininity series, and it was Women Raising Men. I learned a lot from that talk. Little did I know that my boys didn't come with a manual, so it taught me a lot, and it was definitely an eye-opener in many ways. And hearing the ladies' talks and experiences was just priceless. And then my favorite moment must be sitting up here and thinking back to almost 5 years ago to the day when I was perched literally in your living room by the window seat, drinking my tea and thinking, wow, how powerful. And naturally, little did we know, 5 years on, the talk series is still very much strong, and to many more.
Great. Thank you for that very smooth shift. You know, we just had a chance to feel our heart. And again, thank you to the beautiful guidance that we just received. in this, it allows for our hearts to open. And I think what we have experienced at the Sophia Collective over the last October, November, January, February, so over the last 4 months, is a chance to connect from the heart. I spoke about the 4 pillars: the grow, the build, the connect, and the talk. And though we haven't yet held sessions and events in the connect pillar, we've held many in the talk, as you know, and we've held one on Thursday in the grow pillar. But we have yet to hold one in the connect. But we thought, my goodness, let's share some stories of actual real-life connections without even holding an event that have been made over the last few months. Some that have been of complete shock to me, and some that I've seen kind of blossom from a seed to a beautiful flower. And not only have I seen connections and a connect element when women connect from the heart, I also saw the speed of how quickly they build as an element of that connection. So I'd like the first two to start with Alice and Selma. And if you would introduce yourself quickly and then start about sharing about your connection that I've recently found out about.
Hi everyone, I'm Alice, grown up in Sweden, been in the UAE for almost 10 years now. Before going to my first session at WeWork, I actually had been through a trauma of losing my mother. I became a mother for the second time, so I had been through 2 very transformative things in my life. And once I felt ready to actually go back on the job market and start discovering, my friend Hannah actually, she told me, why don't you come to the talk series for entrepreneurs? I think you would be a good fit. And I thought to myself, yeah, why not? Let me go. And we went there together. And during that first session, Selma sat next to me. And we just connected directly. And this was in November, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and she basically created an opportunity for me on that first day within the exact field I wanted to explore. Yeah, so that was amazing.
Yes, it was. My name is Selma, and I'm originally Palestinian. I've been here for only 2 years, and it's really lovely to be here this evening. It's amazing. Akua, you asked us to reflect on the past 5 years of our lives, and I think something very important to my life is that the moment I decided to leave what I love to do most was 5 years ago, and now I'm going back to it, and in that process, connecting people has been really powerful. But I think that it was a spontaneous, kind of energy that I felt, and I thought, there's something here to explore. And you have to allow for things to kind of move and to experience them as they are. And I felt that you also wanted to do that. And given where I was in my life, in a place where I had one foot in a full-time job and then trying to build my own business, I felt the need to sway and finally take the leap forward back into what I love to do most. And that takes a lot of energy, and I think focusing on connections, deeply trying to find people that you can pass the baton on to, was what I was trying to do. And Alice kind of wanted that opportunity.
Great.
Yeah, and actually started this week, so...
So you guys ended up switching jobs? Or...
No. Okay. What happened was I was leaving my job looking for someone to replace me, with the intention of wanting to give my team someone who I felt could take care of the job I was holding.
So Alice took your job?
Alice took my job.
And what did you do?
I love to start my own business.
Aha, okay. What's your own business?
So yeah, I mean, I think some of you know, but who I am is I am a chef, and I've been in the food and beverage industry for 15 years, and I finally arrived at building my own business, which is tahi. Tahi is the word for the art of cooking in Arabic, and it is basically the Italy of the Arab world, kind of connecting and bringing together and uniting all of our Arab food diversity under a space where we can build a community and different experiences around food.
Awesome. Great. So your meeting allowed you to step away. Okay, beautiful.
Also, I have to mention that it was very hard to go into that space of writing CVs and, going for interviews and networking. And I think we spoke about that during our last talk, that it doesn't always have to be through CVs and the traditional ways. So I think this is also shows how powerful this collective is.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something about that, because I've never applied for a job.
Yeah.
I've never used my CV to apply to a job. I'm very grateful for that. But I think that in that process, you kind of learn how to observe where opportunities are, and you can really pull in the right people to help you do that. And I think that's what you do really well, Sarah. If I could say just one thing about you, I think one very unique skill set you have is your ability to hold space for so many people. It's incredible, the vastness that exists within you, and it's a reflection of all these women here today that you've brought into this room. So, I hope that life continues to bring that into you.
Thank you. Thank you, too. It's cool, actually. Moving on to the next connection. It's 4 women, and I've kind of known about this, but then yesterday when we were having a small brief, I discovered more and more. So I'd leave it for you guys to please share with us about your connection and what you've been up to since the Sophia Collective.
Okay, so hi everybody. My name is Marcia. I've lived in Abu Dhabi for 23 years. So this is also very much my home. Mother of 3 amazing adult children, and I'm a purpose coach and human design reader. How the 4 of us met, I have actually known Claire for about 15 years, and I also went through a very difficult time a couple of years ago, and we were spending quite a bit of time connecting during the tail end of COVID, and she invited me to come along to the talk series. And honestly, after that session, I just felt like I was part of a community that I'd been looking for a very long time. And ironically, that day I sat next to Amna, and we exchanged a few words, but never did I think that we would now be working together and co-creating and facilitating on projects. So yeah, that's how we met.
Hi, I'm Amna. I'm from Pakistan. I've been here for about 15 years. Thought I'd move here for a couple of years, but it's been 15 now and still counting, and love it here. I'm a corporate lawyer as well as a life coach. I met Claire initially, and it was really interesting because before I met her, I was listening to a podcast, and it said, how successful you are is the average of 5 people that you spend the most amount of time with. And at that time, the majority was taken over by 5 and a 7-year-old, both my kids. So I was yearning for something more, even though I had a coaching practice going, but a need for community, to build something, to have like a group of coaches, facilitators, healers. And that's when I met Claire. And we shared this idea, and she said, come to the talk series, and ended up going to the talk series and also the entrepreneur talk series, which was just amazing. It just immediately, the space compassionate space where everything is allowed, everything is inclusive. The women from like all kinds of backgrounds, and one thing that they shared in common was the support for each other. So yeah, that's where we are.
Thank you, Adna. Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Vandana. I am a holistic specialist, meditation facilitator, and wellness coach. And I've been practicing in Abu Dhabi for 20 years. I've been living here for 22 years, and this is practically home. This is where my 2 adult boys have grown up, and it's very special because this is where I found my true self, my practice. This is where I grew. I met Sarah, I think 3 years back, around 2020. And we instantly connected. We would chat over our sessions, and it was really heartwarming to, have that connection with Sarah, and we continued being in touch. And then last year, in February, I know Claire for even longer than that. Claire and me were on a retreat together, and Claire, in fact, told me about the talk series, and Claire is our a major connector here. So Claire put the information about the talk series, and I was like, oh, okay, I know Sarah. This makes sense. I should go for the talk series. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it, and I did. I especially enjoyed the inspiring stories and everything. And then, as Sarah shared, in November she started about the talk series entrepreneurship, and
that's what the Sophia
sure.
Collective was called before we became that. We just called it talk series entrepreneurs because we didn't have any other name.
So there was this survey, and I was like, I don't know if I fit into this. And I met Sarah at the talk series after that in December, and she says, no, you need to come. It's a creative environment and you should come. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go for a couple of meetings, and I will see if I fall into that groove with that group or no. And I did. That's why I'm sitting right here. And of course, I reconnected. Claire and me have been in touch, and Claire, of course, was there. It was always nice, and I met Amna and Marcia. I think what really worked for me in particular is that at the Sophia Collective, at that meetings, Sarah put out these particular groups that we could all contribute to, and we could choose which group we could add value to. And I chose knowledge sharing, not knowing how I'm going to bring what knowledge of mine onto this group, because I was like, but I do energy work. What am I going to be doing in this? And the one person who really encouraged me was Claire. And she says, I know exactly what you're going to bring to this group. Hang in there. I was like, okay, fine. And I got at this meeting when we started creating our first workshop, connecting with your life purpose. And that's when it really struck me that I can bring the energy work that I do into this context too. And thank you, Claire, for that. I think what I really want to share at this moment is, because we each have our personal intention, what we want to do in our lives, then we start aligning to the collective energy around. And Sarah created that through the Sophia Collective. I had a personal intention for this year in particular to collaborate more, and I found the right medium to do that. So I'm really grateful for it, and I'm really grateful how we are moving forward with the creations of different workshops, and I'm really, really grateful. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. And Claire, as you are the connector of all this space, and and also the ability, because I remember when I created the knowledge sharing platform, to me it was, you would clearly lead it. I was like, if we were talking about it, that would be kind of the space. So how did it come about that, you brought all this to what we just witnessed less than a month ago and what we're about to witness on Thursday? How did it become a product?
So I'm going to try and answer that question, but first
and you have
I'll
2 minutes.
introduce myself. So my name is Claire, and I'm the person that connected everyone together, it seems. And the reason that I invite people to the talk series is because it's a great space just to get together. You know, you always have people you want to catch up with, and to do so individually just takes a lot of time. So for me, I was like, just come to talk series, come to talk series, come to talk series, and then we see each other there. So I have a consultancy company called Conscious Consulting, and we mainly work with corporates, some individuals, but mainly corporates. And our purpose is humanizing and harmonizing. So connecting with ourselves and connecting with each other to create thriving organizations. And it was actually, I mean, the connection between us is what kind of evolved the knowledge sharing series sessions. And we felt like the right place to start wasn't, hey, I want to build a business, but more, why am I here on this planet in this lifetime? Like, we felt like we needed to start there, because a lot of people, what I experience, what I've seen, is when they're searching for something, they're often searching outside, and this place that it's best to start the search is inside. So you start with inside, and so the first session was really, it just emerged quite naturally, connecting with my purpose. And we built that between ourselves. And then the second one is, okay, so now I know my purpose. What am I going to do with it? You know, then it has to get practical, because we can't just all go around being very in our purpose, but not really doing anything with it. So the second session, which will happen on Thursday of this week, is bringing my purpose to life. So that's a really practical session of how, in the context that I live in, with the skills that I have, with, you know, we all have boundaries and constraints in our lives today and, you know, possibly into the future. What can I do? How can I live my purpose every day? And then the third session, we shift into something very practical around, okay, how do then I build this business? Or how do I start to map the market and understand where to position my business? And so we're in this bridging space where we've included some other people. So Alice is a person that will join, and Selma, also Naris, as well as Gabriella. I don't know if have I seen Gabriella? Gabriella is here, yes. So it's really going to be a series starting very internally and then becoming very practically in how we build our businesses. So there's 5 sessions, but we're building as we go, really. It's like, because until you've built the first one, you don't really know what the second one needs. You build the second one, you know where the third one needs to start and what people require. So these are the sessions. Did that answer your question?
Yeah,
brilliantly.
Thank you. And I'm actually, I'll move on because I'm getting the flashlight from behind. But I just also want to say that for me, what I found, so there was a connection, but the speed of building, because I've built training programs before. They take like 18 months to go through the process, to go through pilot, to go through approval, then it comes back. So the fact, for me, of the exponential speed at building and delivering and witnessing and piloting and seeing impact is actually quite remarkable. So thank you so much for that, ladies, and all the ladies are helping for the next one too. Awesome. And last but not least, we'll talk about the last connection. Thank you. Felicia and Nicole.
I'll have Nicole start.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. It's lovely to see so many familiar faces tonight. I first came to the talk series by my very good friend Anna Karina over there, who's flown in from Amsterdam today, so it's exciting that she's here.
It's awesome, actually.
She brought me to the first talk series. It was November 2018, and I just moved to the UAE from Sydney, and of course I really didn't know anybody, and I was like, what am I doing here? Dragged my kids and obviously was here with my husband, but I was just so grateful to her for bringing me to the talk series and meeting so many amazing women. And I've always been, every time I come, I usually bring somebody. So I love the whole thing, Sarah. It's amazing, and it's connected me with so many people. So thank you. Okay. And my lovely Felicia. So
how did you two meet?
Yeah, so I came to one of the Sophia Connect weekly meetings, and that was, when was that, September or just
early
after the
October.
Summer?
Yeah, early October.
Yeah, And I had also had some difficult things happen in my life, and I wasn't sure what sort of path I was going to take, and I really needed something for myself, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And I met Felicia at one of the meetings, and we started to chat, and she said she had a real estate company, and I was like, my brother-in-law's in real estate, and we started to chat, and then I said, actually, I'd be really interested to talk to you. And here we are.
What happened?
Yeah.
I mean, it just happened so naturally. Like you said, it was the first one that we attended, and I remember seeing you sitting next to Iram, who's in here, and I'm like, who are these just like fabulous ladies looking so glam, looking so well put together? You come almost like high school and you think they're too cool for you. But just like everyone's been saying, the warmth and the undescribable feeling of the room when you're attending is unbelievable. And Nicole is part of the team. I'm super, super lucky to have her. She's wonderfully just jubilant, like happy, a light. So yeah.
Very cool. So you guys work together then now?
Exactly.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
awesome.
So I'm a property consultant now. So Felicia's been amazing. She's teaching me along the way all her skills that she's had over the last 15 years or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So
and Nicole's a natural, so she picks up super fast.
I love property. I love everything about houses and apartments and travel and all the rest of it. So
Cool.
And I love meeting people and connecting them. So it's worked out well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
Sarah.
guys. Thank you. Yeah, I think this is, for me, this has been the most exciting, is that even though we are intending to do this in an intentional way, where we create a connect session where we bring maybe coaches and people that need coaching, or people that are looking for work and people that are having jobs, in a true sense of that kind of sort of event. But the fact that it's happening just as we're meeting is also super cool. And I just thought it'd be nice to just highlight some of those stories. So thank you so much, ladies, for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, this is testament to what happens when women come together, right? Power really is. Okay, so in the spirit of connection, when you all arrived here, you were all given an opportunity to choose a colored ribbon. Can I ask you to please hold your ribbons up, please? All right. Now, I know some of you already have them tied, but we may have to untie them again. And connect eyes with somebody that you have not connected with today. Okay, and now that you've found someone, I'm going to ask you if you can approach that person and ask that person to tie the bow. And not just tie it, but make this be a conversation that matters.
We are all on our journeys, and the statement will continually change and evolve. The Sophia Collective wants to help guide you to your full potential. Opportunity to build a bridge from I to we. As women, we are really we. There's so much strength in our wholeness, and so much more strength in our collective. The strength of each of our statements is a powerful representation of our individuality. But what's important is to note and know that we are part of the whole. And as a group of women, every form of expression is represented in the larger form of the collective spirit.
I am the result of my grandmother's deepest prayers, the outcome of generations of strong women, and a book of pages still unwritten. Women to me are the epitome of strength and wisdom, and I love that the Sophia Collective embraces that. The poem I've written for you all tonight is about the strongest woman I know, who is one of the main reasons that I am who I am today. I'm sharing it with you all in hopes that it inspires, emboldens, and motivates you. My grandmother wove a life out of the rubble. I did not know brick and cement could mold that way until I met her. There is no hardness she cannot soften, no chaos she cannot quiet, no wisdom she cannot pull from out of the noise. She has a superpower. It is December of 2022, and she tells me stories of the Liberation War. How God's voice woke her up in the middle of the night saying, "Run, girl." How she fled with her small children, leaving everything behind, and how shortly after, flames rose up and hugged her home. But she's an architect, building hope out of what was destroyed. Knowing where to place each block, she has tenacity in her genes. And her name is Grace, like the mercies of a new day. And her daughter is Fortune, like the wealth that life gives. And somewhere along the way, there's me, Tinotenda, which means to give thanks. It is through my grandmother that I have come to understand this, that to be a woman is to be the shelter and the food, the foundation and the building blocks, the softness and the strength. And isn't it an amazing thing? How our softness can turn the hardest thing into thread. In this room, I see a kaleidoscope of resourceful women. I hear a symphony of sisterhood singing, "Let us gather, build, and find ourselves here," sharing our space and our Sophia. And oh, what a sight it is to behold. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. Spoken word poet and artiste. Thank you to the amazing individuals who are part of this launch. Please, can you stand up? Oh, there. So here we are, with everyone stood up. And what I'd like to say to all of you, to those who are part of the launch, to those who are part of the Sophia Collective, to those who have attended a talk series, and to those who have arrived here this evening, thank you. Thank you for your support, for being part of the launch of the Sophia Collective. Together, we have created a community that is inclusive, empowering, and inspiring. We've come together to share our knowledge, to support one another, and to work towards a beautiful vision, the Sophia Collective. Thank you so much for being here. And now let's go eat and commune and connect.